Bellator MMA is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Macfarlane returns to Hawaii. It is all over. Juliana Velasquez. Undefeated. Tonight, it's a battle of unbeatens for Bellator Gold. Flyweight world champion Juliana Macfarlane has eliminated every opponent on her road to glory. But tonight, she faces her toughest test yet in Juliana Velasquez, who brings a dangerous arsenal and a perfect record of her own. Someone's own has got to go. This is Bellator 254, undefeated on CBS Sports Network. We began the year with a Canadian holding the featherweight belt and a Hawaiian claiming ownership of the flyweight world championship. Chris Cyborg beat Julia Budd back in January, and tonight the Brazilians look to complete the sweep here inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. Our main event of the evening is a battle between the flyweight world champion, Juliana Macfarlane, as she looks to defend her belt for a Bellator record-setting 5th time against one of Brazil's most determined and destructive fighters, Juliana Velasquez. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. My partners, of course, Josh Thompson and Big John McCarthy. Big John, I've been waiting for this one. Juliana has eliminated all of her challengers because she has continued to evolve, correct?
Absolutely. Juliana has grown up as the champion, which is unusual and very difficult to do. But she's getting better with each fight, and that's what makes her special. This is a person, 5 submission wins, 8 stoppages total in her 11-0 record. But she keeps on just evolving with her ground game and her stand-up, and that ground game is something that her opponent needs to be careful of tonight.
There is no doubt about it. Juliana, though, has not been shy, Joss, about saying she needs to be careful against her opponent. She said by far Juliana Velasquez, her toughest test. What makes Juliana Velasquez so dangerous?
You want to know why Juliana Velasquez is so dangerous? Ask Juliana Macfarlane. She said it all. She said her southpaw stance, okay? The things that she does from there, the way she throws her punches. She mixes up the combinations from leg kicks to striking from the body to the head. She's also a judoka. She's someone who's a black belt in judo. She's on the Brazilian national team. She's extremely good and well-versed on the ground. The thing is, with Juliana Macfarlane, she understands that this is the toughest task she has ahead of her, and Juliana Velasquez is going to push that pace and get in her face and throw big shots.
Every fight the last few years for Juliana Macfarlane has been a 5-round fight. If she can get her opponent into deep waters, she believes she will have the advantage. And she is Hawaiian, and she is used to deep waters. That is our main event. Later tonight, we will start things off at 185 pounds. Romero Cotton, a 3-time Division II National Wrestling Champion. His opponent, Justin the Fort Sumter.
Now, his opponent, Romero, Bad News Cotton.
Romero Cotton trains at AKA in San Jose, California. He is the man that won 10 state championships in 3 different sports in high school, 4 in wrestling, 2 in powerlifting, and another one in football. A national champion at the cadet level in both freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling, and of course, being from AKA, Josh, a man you know well.
I know him very well, and I have full disclosure to let everyone know that I have worked with him, I've trained with him, I've grappled with him, and I've helped him a lot for this fight. I will not be biased.
I love the fact you give full disclosure because you have been training with Romero. But the one thing that we know is Romero Cotton is a man who is athletic but mean. He has got a mean streak in him, Josh.
Well, here's the one thing that Bob Cook, our manager, has talked about. He's probably the most true fighter that we have come through the gym at AKA in a long time.
His last fight, 13 months ago, was a victory by a verbal tap due to injury just 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the battle against Jason Parada. 4-0 with all 4 of his wins coming inside the Bellator cage. For those of you who have been watching us on CBSSports.com, our streaming coverage will conclude after our first commercial break. We welcome you to our coverage on CBS Sports Network. It is great to be here tonight, our first fight in the middleweight division. And here is our tale of the tape for this fight at 185. 4-0, Romero Cotton against Justin Sumter. John, look at that reach advantage.
That's a big reach advantage, and Justin Sumter needs to use that reach advantage to keep Romero Cotton off of him.
To get things officially underway, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Bellator MMA Live on CBS Sports Network. From Mohegan Sun Arena, we begin with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing the blue corner. At 6'2", weighing in 184.7 pounds, his professional record, 7 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Milford, Connecticut, Justin the Ford Sumter. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner, at 5'10", weighing in 185.1 pounds. As a professional, he's undefeated, 4 victories, no defeats. By way of Hutchinson, Kansas, he fights out of San Jose, California, Romero, Bad News Cotton. In charge, your referee, Brian Miner.
Brian Miner, our referee, for our first fight live here on CBS Sports Network. Mike Goldberg, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, Jen Brown, live from the Mohegan Sun Arena.
Are you ready? Justin, you ready? Come on, fight.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Romero Cotton in the red gloves, Justin Sumter in the blue gloves. Sumter, the southpaw, Cotton in the orthodox stance.
Go, man. You know.
Good, nice, beautiful, Justin.
Find your range. Find your range.
Nice.
Nice, relax. Start looking for
Not a good
your
thing for Sumter to go after that type of kick with a guy that wrestles like Romero Cotton. He needs to set that kick up with his hands first.
There was a lot of preparation in this camp for that exact kick, that body kick, as well as the inside leg kick. That's a lot of what he prepared for, actually striking off of that, as well as going right from the striking to the takedown.
But when you watch Sumter fight, when he's doing well, he gets in a rhythm with his stand-up, and he controls that distance very well with those kicks. But he needs to set them up with his hands.
right hand right after that.
Got in tight, got taken down.
Left knee tight. Left knee tight on his hip. Sit on that leg, relax.
When people at AK talk about Romero Cotton, they talk about his physical strength. They're like some of the top guys, Kyle Crutchmere, you know, DC, they all talk about how physically strong he is. You just saw right there with a beautiful takedown.
Ass down, head up, good posture. Hit your knees.
Sumter right there was trying to swing his hips to go for that armbar, and you saw physically Cotton was just able to squeeze down on him and keep him from being able to rotate either way.
Work back up. We got the cage right there. We get up.
Don't forget, you can join the conversation on all social media platforms at hashtag Bellator254.
Great posture. Hips heavy.
Close guard.
With your hips. Hit your knees here.
Cotton looking to do damage from top position.
This is right now, you're seeing him in the close guard up against the cage. Normally, generally, usually in these positions, guys are now using that cage, opening that guard, using the cage to get themselves back to their feet. This is almost old style, and when you see Romero Cotton bringing his head over the top of Sumter, he's able to deliver shots with a ton of power.
Another thing that we had talked about is when you do get your opponent to the fence, put your forehead against the fence, and it takes away a lot of the attacks from the bottom.
Can't use your legs to swing around to get that arm or anything like that.
There's no omoplata there. There's no arm bars there as well.
Sumter trying to control the posture of Romero Cotton.
Put his head against that cage again.
And John, much to your point, you heard the corner say, get his head against that cage again.
Well, especially if he's going to sit there in a closed guard. When you see those legs crossed in that guard position, you are in a defensive position. You must open up those legs to set up an offensive attack.
Switch that head to the front side.
Catch that arm.
He's looking to do exactly what he was instructed to.
Punch through, Justin.
Under 2 minutes. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Romero was able to feed that arm to the back and hold it there for a second.
Hey, let's stretch him out.
Select that arm now.
Careful on that
Looking
triangle.
for that triangle. Nice job of swinging the legs up, but he didn't have control of the arm.
Let's work up.
Now hip pressure.
Work up.
There you go.
Justin, let's move.
Nice.
Hips down.
One thing that Ron Kessler teaches at AKA, the jiu-jitsu coach there, is to keep your hips over the other opponent's hips or over his thighs. Makes it harder for them to move. You see Romero's a little high right here. Very high.
Needs to get that other hook in there will help stay.
Oh, it's over.
Just like that. That's the strength that you talked about, Josh, and the power of Romero Cotton, who is now 5-0 in his professional career.
Understand. Okay. First round, baby. That's what we do. We stop, motherfucker. Let's go.
That is his third first round finish.
Go, you can see he's in position here, but there's no choke at this time. But right away, you see that arm when he comes over right here. Now he's got it, and it's tight. Even though he didn't have the hook, when he starts to get high, he's got so much power, so much strength. He's able to put a squeeze on that neck that makes Sumter tap out.
But here's the thing, John, the way he set that up was he was threatening to choke before Sumter got even to go to his knees. So when he's at his knees, he was already giving him the choke. Instead of using his hands to post, he wasn't fighting, he was posting his hands.
Hey, Twin J, we did it, baby. Twin J all day. Scotty J, let's go. AKA, let's go.
We welcome those of you who have just witnessed a very high-scoring college football game. We are live on CBS Sports Network from the Mohegan Sun Arena. For those of you just joining us, our middleweight matchup is over in round 1. And here is how Romero Cotton finished it.
Romero Cotton getting Sumter up against the cage, really getting good position. It doesn't have the hooks, but all of a sudden you see that arm wrapping around, grabs a hold of it, starts to squeeze on that, tight, good gets the tap.
Well, Sumter chose to put his hands down to the mat instead of defending the choke, and it cost him the first round.
Romero Cotton moves to 5-0 with all of his wins here in Bellator. To make it official, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Inside the Bellator cage, the rear naked choke brings on the tap. Official time 3 minutes, 36 seconds. Round number 1 by submission. Still undefeated, Romero Bad News Cotton.
Romero Bad News Cotton. Third straight first round finish. And he will visit with Big John.
All right, Romero, instead of dancing, you got to come and talk to me, brother. What is up, man? That was a beautiful performance. You were dominant. That fight started off, and he was trying to set up those leg kicks, taking out your legs a little bit. You went to that lock. You got him to the ground. But let's talk about the finish, because it was your strength and your power that you could see all of a sudden just make that choke work.
Hey, first and foremost, rest in heaven, my cousin, Brian Henderson Jr., AKA Bad News. That's why I changed my name to Bad News tonight. All he wanted to do was go to Tokyo and see me fight. He didn't get to make it, but he's in here with me tonight. But as far as the finish went, man, the guy's 6'3", 6'4", 185 pounds. His muscles are real long. He ain't that strong. So, I mean, I knew I could just roll right through him and get to the neck.
Well, let's talk about your positioning, because I know that your coach, Ron Kessler, likes you to keep hip to hip and be tight on guys. When you got to that position, did you feel solid there?
Oh, yeah, man. I practice with beasts, monsters, you know what I'm saying? Just the top of the line. Grapplers out there, out at AKA. We're deep. We're coming back. And so, I mean, this is a walk in the park compared to the guys I practice with.
Well, you're part of it being deep at AKA and what you're bringing. You're 5-0 now in the Bellator cage. Who is it in the middleweight division that you got your eye on?
Hey, man, I really couldn't even tell you. I don't know. It's I got my eye on myself. Man. I'm still early in my career. Every fight, I'm getting better and better, getting more and more comfortable in here. So, I mean, I got my eyes on myself.
Well, that was a beautiful performance. Congratulations on another win. 5-0, Romero Cotton. Back to you, Goldie.
Big John, thank you very much. For those of you watching on CBSSports.com and YouTube, the remainder of Bellator 254 will be presented on CBS Sports Network. You can find us by going to CBSSportsNetwork.com/channel finder. Congratulations, Romero Cotton. And when we come back, we will have a heavyweight collision. Lynn Vassell and Ronnie Marks set to collide inside the Bellator cage. Comrade, we have heard rumblings, see what I did there? Rumblings that you were going to Bellator is proud to have partnered with the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare for all of our COVID-19 testing and screening. They are a big part of the reason we have been able to be here throughout this last part of 2020. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. The world cannot wait to put 2020 in the rearview mirror. And as we look ahead with hope and optimism, one thing is for certain. The Bellator roster in 2021 will be better than ever. And the hits keep coming. Now joined by the latest addition to the Bellator roster, Anthony Johnson. Comrade, we have heard rumblings, see what I did there? Rumblings that you were going to return to the cage. Why now and why Bellator?
Bellator gave me an opportunity, man, that I couldn't refuse. Scott Coker and Mike Hogan and all those guys are absolutely amazing. UFC has been great through this whole process. Like the story came out, everything was mutual. There was no bad blood. There was no anything negative. So it was good. It was a good thing, and I'm glad to be a part of Bellator.
Rumble, you are the latest addition to what is already a bolstered roster. Scott Coker and the Bellator brass have done a great job building a great roster of fighters for 2021. Light heavyweight, is it one, is it the other, is it both for you? What are your plans?
I mean, it depends on the person, it depends on the fight. I'll fight light heavyweight or heavyweight, but so far, and like right now, my heart is set on light heavyweight. So I plan on going in there and having some fun. And if God and some of the guys call me and say, hey, we may need you for heavyweight, that's what it is.
What should Bellator Nation expect to see when Rumble enters the Bellator cage for the very first time?
I don't do a lot of talking. Just to say my name, you know what you're going to get. I'm going to go out there and swing for the fences, you know what I mean? And if somebody just happened to be in the way of one of those punches or kicks or something like that, so be it. They should have moved. So everybody knows what they're going to do. They know they're in for an exciting fight regardless. I look forward to getting back in front of the crowd and having fun. Giving people what they want, because when I left, I've never heard so many complaints from the MMA community saying that MMA isn't the same because people aren't getting knocked out the way that they used to since I left. So to me, that says a lot about my presence in MMA. So I know if I can do it at 170 in UFC all the way up to 205 at UFC, I can do it for Bellator. You know what I mean? And do the knockouts there too.
Comrade, this is an early Christmas present for me. I think it is for you as well. I cannot wait. Congratulations. Have a great holiday season. Our fans are excited to see you inside the Bellator cage. Thanks, Rumble.
Thank you, brother.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, a longtime teammate of the Swarm, Linton Vassell, who is set to fight Ronnie Marks. Rumble told me that he is the strongest man I have ever grappled with, which is saying something when you consider the strength of Anthony Johnson. For Ronnie Marks, the wait is finally over. He is set to fight at heavyweight for the first time since 2017, and we check in with our own Jen Brown.
Yes, Goldie, the wait is finally over. To say that Ronnie Marks is eager to make his Bellator debut would be a bit of an understatement. 2 times he has had his Bellator debut canceled just hours before making the walk to the cage. Once was in December when he was supposed to face Josh Barnett. The other was Matt Mitrione here back in March. Now tonight, he will face Linton Vassell, a fighter he says is well-rounded, tough, as well as a very big name. He says, look, he has fought for the light heavyweight title twice, and if I can get a win over Linton Vassell tonight, it will be a big statement that I can make to the heavyweight division that I am here, and I have my eyes on the belt. Now, tonight, Ronnie Marks is not getting too ahead of himself. He's learned that already the hard way. So he says, look, first, get to the arena, check. Get through warm-ups, check. And now he waits to make his Bellator debut with the mindset that everything happens for a reason. And Goldie, he says he has never been more prepared to face an opponent.
Nice report from Jen Brown. Check. The battling Brit believes at his best no one beats him at heavyweight. A monster at middleweight. Lightning fast at light heavy. Tonight, Ronnie Marks makes his long-awaited Bellator heavyweight debut. Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Next up tonight here, Bellator 254, a heavyweight feature fight, Ronnie Marks versus the Swarm, Linton Vassell. And now we welcome the first fighter making his way to the cage, Ronnie Marks.
What's that? Yeah. You do it, I don't know.
And now making his way to the cage, Linton, the Swarm Vassell.
Yeah, yo. Gunshot my goals this game. Check 1, 2, man, sneeze again. Dickhead, you in a dickhead crew game. Gassed up by your dickhead friends. Like them and woke up this again. If I bump these boots again, I ain't got cruising. Got cruise, but the difference is pretending my niggas don't talk all rap. No, my niggas don't talk all clash. No, my niggas don't talk they mash. Fuck boys, my niggas talking smack. These in spoons, you can't be the king of Frank. I don't do radio sets. Let's be rude, why I would like to radio set. See, I can't stand these fucking because I don't care what you're fucking niggas. But you're listening to those ears. There's all the niggas, some of them have had enough of them. They all piss me off. Had one chance, they used to shot. I link up flips to me, burn your wrist, and we laugh about it. Split the prof, call me gunshot, my call me scared. Check 1, 2, and sneeze again. Dickhead, you in a dickhead crew game. Gassed up by your dickhead friends. I think I just got this again. Think I can do this friends. When I put my lap,
Leaving the battlefield, the football field, it leaves behind a lot of physical scars, but more so emotional scars. You lose your team. Our job at MVP is to give you your team back. We start with 30-minute workout. Get them to be beholden to their brother or sister on their right or left again. But the magic is we have a huddle. We sit down on the mats and we talk it out. We talk about everything.
MVP saved my life.
Straight up, MVP did save my life.
Everywhere I go, I preach about MVP. Instead of my family being worried now because of MVP and what it's allowed me to do, now I'm helping others.
We lose 22 vets a day to suicide. That is not okay. That number needs to be 0. They've had our back. It's time we get their back.
Who's got my back? I got your back. 1, 2, 3, MVP.
A huge thank you to our own Jay Glazer and all the men and women at MVP. Go to vetsandplayers.org to donate or join. It's been 1,406 days since Ronnie Marks has fought at heavyweight. The magic number for Linton Vassell is 240, as in 240 pounds. And John, he was tremendous against Sergey Kharitonov.
He looks so good against Sergey Kharitonov. Used his grappling to take the fight to the ground, out-positioned Sergey, and just beat him up. Something you don't see happen to Sergey Kharitonov, a guy who is just a brawling master. Lynn Vassell knows that at 240 pounds, he's in the perfect weight for him to be both powerful and in great condition.
Our tail of the tape for this heavyweight fight. Both men with 19 career victories. The Swarm comes in 1 pound under the optimal, but I'm still sure he's very happy. He has a huge reach advantage, and we bring it back over to Michael C. Williams.
Live on CBS Sports Network, Bellator MMA now features heavyweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 252.1 pounds. Tonight, finally, his Bellator debut as he enters with 19 professional victories, 7 losses. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada by way of Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, presenting Ronnie Marks. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner at 6'4", weighing in 239 pounds, even as a professional. 19 wins, 8 defeats. From Milton Keynes, England, presenting Linton, the Swarm Vassell. In charge, your referee, Yves Levine.
Yves Levine, our referee for this heavyweight confrontation. A 2-time title challenger at 205, now a heavyweight, Lynn Vassell. Against the veteran, Ronnie Marks. Fight! Here we go! Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Lynn Vassell in the red gloves, Ronnie Marks in the blue gloves. Both men with 19 career wins. Bellator debut for the Brazilian Ronnie Marks.
Ronnie Marks has had a lot of time to practice his stand-up, and the guys he's doing it with at Extreme Couture have definitely said that his level has changed. He's getting hit by guys like Francis Ngannou every day in practice, so he is used to banging with the big boys and feeling power and working his way through it.
We've seen the ascension of Tim Johnson coming out of that camp. And if Ronnie Marks can echo the year that 2020 has been for Tim Johnson, watch out heavyweights, Ronnie Marks is going to be a factor.
Well, Ronnie Marks is one of Tim Johnson's training partners and vice versa. And it's all of that time with those kinds of guys that has really given Ronnie Marks a lot of confidence when it comes to being in the stand-up, because we know he's really good on the ground.
Being led by Ray Seppo in the striking game, never batted on.
Even though that was a failed takedown attempt by Ronnie Marks, this is exactly where he wants to be, John.
It's not a bad thing to be, but it's not real good having Lynn Vassell on top of you. I am telling you, in the top position on the ground, Lynn Vassell is trouble.
Lynn Vassell said his top pressure isn't what people are used to dealing with. Joshi said he keeps his hips heavy. He's realized how his body works for him. He's got that large frame, which makes him very difficult to deal with.
He's got muscles on muscles on muscles that I didn't even know existed until I met this man.
He is the essence of, remember when Alistair, we called him Uberim. Yep. When Alistair Overeem was just huge. Well, Lynn Vassell is the perfect match for the body that Alistair Overeem had in the past. Lynn Vassell carries that now.
And when Rumble says somebody's strong, I believe it.
No, I compare him a lot to Czech Congo, one of our other heavyweights. Yep. You know, Czech Congo being what, 44, 45 years old, but looks like a Greek god. And Lynn Vassell is in that same boat, not quite as old, but just built physically like a physical specimen. Yep.
Neil Melanson used to be one of the coaches of Lynn Vassell when it came to grappling, and Neil would talk about how strong Lynn was, but how heavy he was when he was on top, and how good his positioning is. And we're seeing that right now, because you're seeing Ronnie Marks trying to just leverage him up, get that body weight going, get those hips a little high, and it's not working right now.
Well, what he's trying to do is he's trying to work that unhooked side, and he's trying to hit that Lucas Leite sweep, that half guard sweep. He couldn't get to it, so he pushed him back right into full guard.
Ronnie Marks, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Linton, make your shots count, baby.
Former training partner of our own American gangster, Chael Sonnen. That was his first stop when he made his way to the States.
Relax in there, and then you throw a hard shot. Okay, give me one hard shot.
This type of pressure will test your gas tank.
Good. Good. Get faster now. Hey,
Nice job of getting the half guard there. Through the middle. John, we probably should talk a little bit. Like you said, Ronnie Marks hasn't fought at heavyweight in 1,000 days. Having to learn how to carry somebody else's weight. Sure, you train with all of these people, but training is way different than a fight. Let's just be honest.
Totally different. And the real difference is you can't go 100% in training. And sometimes in the fight, you're definitely going that 100%, everything you have, 110. And you are having to put out that energy, and you get tired in a different way.
And it's 1,406, John.
Oh, okay. Details.
Stabilize, good position, and then give me
Ronnie Marks had him in the lockdown position there where he was that Eddie Bravo style lockdown where he's holding him in place, but what he needs to do is go back to that Lucas Leite kind of half guard sweep, trying to get back up to get on top.
Or he can use that lockdown to get sweeps like the electric chair sweep. There's ways of doing things with it. You just got to start getting that movement going.
That electric chair sweep is hard to get though when someone is as long as Linton Vassell is.
True.
And we're seeing Ronnie already kind of have that problem and issue trying to get that other side underhook on the leg.
A lot of pressure applied by the Swarm in round one.
Break! Hey, great fucking round. Great fucking round. Linton, listen. Just control from the top. Every now and then you're throwing a hard shot, okay? Act like you're relaxing and then hard shot. Hard elbow or hard punch. It don't matter, okay? Hey, listen. Beautiful round. You're good, baby. You're good. That's what we do, baby. Yeah, man. He's tired. Look at him. Look at him. He's tired. I'm just trying to hold him. Yeah. Yeah. And you can pass. Watch out. He's got time to breathe. That's all I got. Yeah. That's one thing. Yep. And look, wait. Stay relaxed, and then when you feel it, big shot. Okay. Hey, I need one hand first. One hand first. Counter over.
This Saturday, December 12th, live on Showtime, undefeated Chris Colbert faces hard-hitting 26-year-old Jaime Arboleda in a matchup of top 5 ranked super featherweight fighters. That is Saturday the 12th, live on Showtime. Round 2, red gloves for Linton Vassell, blue gloves for Ronnie Marks. The corner of Linton Vassell, no surprise, very pleased with the start of this fight.
All week, John, I talked about whichever fighter was able to get on top and control the position was going to win this fight. That's what we saw so far in the first round. I'm not saying it's going to continue to go on for the second and third round, but I think whoever does get to the top position, by both of these fighters, they have such dominant top pressure. I think that is the key for one of them winning the fight.
Well, it's no doubt the key, but one of the things, if you were able to listen to the corner of Linton Vassell, one of the things I know about Linton, I referred him a lot, confidence. Sometimes he gets into a fight, he doesn't have the confidence that he should. And if things don't go right for him, he starts to lose that confidence, and it's just a downhill effect. And what you're seeing right now in himself, this is what gives him confidence. The fact that he went that entire round stopping everything that Ronnie Marks wanted to do as far as reversals or submission attempts, and now taking him down again, getting into the top position, even though it was Ronnie that initiated that takedown. This only makes Linton more difficult.
What it was, they both hit their hips at the same time, and Linton Vassell fought for the top position faster than Ronnie Marks did.
Big elbow.
On the back, baby. You're on the back.
And John, that confidence that you talked about for Linton Vassell really moved to a whole new level November 15th, 2019 in Israel when he beat Sergey Kharitonov.
No doubt about it, because Sergey Kharitonov, he's a just a legend in this sport, especially as far as being just a brawling bruiser, a guy that just knocks people out. Linton had to fight the right fight to win, and he did everything perfectly in that fight. That was a huge turnaround point for him as a heavyweight.
Well, I think what we're seeing here as well is that he has found that his weight now is 240. This is comfortable for him. You're not spending your whole camp trying to get your weight down so you can make weight to get to the fight. He now can just train, eat every day, not have to worry about any other stress except just getting better in training every single day to be prepared for this fight. It's showing. I think just the domination from the top position he's showing right now on Ronnie Marks, who is very good on the ground.
Yeah, he is. He's showing he has got that ability on the top position to be very heavy hips. You can't move him. And look, he is a freaking house. This guy is huge, and he is strong. And now he's going for that arm triangle choke. Didn't get it, but trying to get the submission on the jiu-jitsu black belt.
Heavy shots from Linton Vassell. He's postured up. Dangerous spot if you're Ronnie Marks. John talked about the corner and the instructions in between rounds. Some of you watching were in commercial break, but they said, act like you're relaxing and then boom, throw a hard shot. Right now he's throwing hard shots.
That was a nice job. He had laced the arm behind the head at one point. Ronnie got it free, but he is still in deep trouble, and that's a big man in mount at a heavyweight position. This is a horrible place to be.
90 seconds still on the clock here in round two. Yves Levine
getting close to being stopped.
Yep, he's on the knee.
And it's all over. Linton Vassell with the victory. He finishes Ronnie Marks in round number 2.
Big swamp. That confidence is everything with that man right there. We know he can fight. Everyone surrounding him knows he can fight, but he's got to believe in himself, and when he does, he's dangerous. Ronnie Marks goes for the takedown here. Here's where you talked about they got into that position. You see, Linton starts to defend with what we call a 100% hold. They hit the ground, but it's Linton that ends up on top. That underhook on the arm got him in a position. When he turned his hips, he was able to get on top of Ronnie Marks again and just started working from there. When he gets to that mount position, you do not want to have a 240-pound monster on top of you landing elbows and punches, Josh.
Yeah, what you saw there in the very first takedown, what it was is Ronnie Marks thought he had the takedown. He relaxed for a second, and Linton Vassell didn't settle in. He said, no, I'm going to get on top, and he got to the top position.
2 straight and heavyweight for the Swarm. Our official decision for Linton Vassell's 9th Bellator win is coming up next.
All right. Oh. Go ahead, hold it to the Use it. I use it all the time once, man. I'm sorry about that. Go to God. College football comes your way tomorrow with a big Mountain West showdown as Nevada takes on undefeated San Jose State right here on CBS Sports Network. The Swarm with another win to make it official, Michael C. Williams.
Inside the Bellator cage, referee Yves Levine steps in to wave off the contest officially. 3 minutes, 37 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, Linton, the Swarm Vassell.
Third Bellator heavyweight fight, second Bellator heavyweight win for Linton Vassell, who will visit with Big John.
They make you stand far away from me, that way you can't hurt me, okay? I appreciate that. Lynn, that was a beautiful performance. You seemed to get better as you took the fight to the ground. Well, actually reversed it to get on top. When you stayed on top and you were doing damage, your confidence seemed to build in this fight. Is that what was happening in your head?
Oh yeah, I was a bit disappointed with my stand-up. Obviously I wanted to land a lot more than I did. But he took the fight to the ground. Obviously I reversed it. And yeah, my confidence just kept growing because he was breathing a little bit heavy. And when I was hitting him, he was grunting. So yeah, obviously I had two of the best guys in my corner, two of my good friends as well, teammates, and you know, they were saying 10 punches, no less. You know, hitting with good 10 punches, the ref will stop it, and I think pretty much that's what happened.
What was the difference was when that fight was taken to the ground by either one of you, it was the scramble that you won both times to get in the top position. How important is for you? Because when you get in the top position, you are dominant and people do not move you. Now you're a house anyways, but they cannot move you. And that's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that could not move your position.
Yeah, that's exactly like when I take anyone down or vice versa, 9 times out of 10 they don't get back up. The fight's usually finished, or the time goes. But yeah, that's my bread and butter.
That's 2 in a row in the heavyweight division. Confidence is building. Who is it you want next?
Moldowski. Won that rematch with Moldowski, Valentin Moldowski. You know who you are. We had that fight a couple years ago now. But yeah, I won that rematch.
Valentin Moldowski would be a beautiful fight. Congratulations on an outstanding performance here tonight. 2-0 in the heavyweight division right now. Linton Vassell, back to you, Mike.
Linton Vassell with another impressive victory, 2 straight as a heavyweight inside the Bellator cage. We talked about the continuous growth of quality fighters joining the Bellator roster. We visited with Rumble earlier, and how about this? Scott Coker continues to get it done, signing the Olympic qualifier in judo, Japan's Kana Watanabe. She is a factor immediately in the flyweight division. A big welcome from the boss, Scott Coker, Liz Carmouche, Denise Kielholtz. That woman right now holds the title The champion said of the challenger, bona fide finisher, big, strong, dominating, intimidating, true southpaw stance and style. She doesn't switch it up. She goes for the kill. That challenger is with Jen Brown.
Thanks. I'm here with Juliana Velasquez. Juliana, you're a member of the Brazilian national judo team, yet as a professional MMA fighter, you have really only used that ground submission skill set one time. Now, tonight you're going to face Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. She's got many submission victories to her credit. How comfortable are you going to the ground with her?
Você estava no time nacional de judô e na todas as suas lutas você só finalizou uma. Você está lutando contra uma adversária que todo mundo conhece que ela é bom no chão. Como você está confortável indo para o chão se precisar?
Sim, tô. É o que eu sempre falei, eu sou uma judoca, não esqueci das minhas raízes, mas sempre eu consigo colocar minha mão, né, nas adversárias, dou respeito com a minha mão e então eu me sinto confiante na trocação, mas no momento que eu tiver que colocar para baixo, tiver que finalizar e usar meu judô, ele está aí.
Yeah, I'm a judo player, and I've never forgotten my roots. But as I started training MMA, I believe in my hands. I have power in my hands, so I've never forgotten my roots. So I'm prepared to take the fight anywhere, and when I need to use my judo and take her down and use my submission game, I will.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in the cage tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
The Brazilian national judo champion fell short of her Olympic dream, but she said a Bellator belt will be her Olympic medal. The Hawaiian Bellator champ is confident that nobody can touch her high-level jiu-jitsu. What is the gangster's take?
Juliana Velasquez. She understands the fight game. She has what we call a high fight IQ. And if you watch Juliana fight, you're going to come away with an interpretation that she has very heavy hands. I would tell you to stop the tape and back it up because you've already missed what happened. It isn't just the power in the hands, it's the setups. She always does what we call throws punches and bunches, meaning she never throws one shot, stands around and looks at her work. She throws one shot to set up the second one, to set up the third one. That's where the power starts to come in. Juliana Velasquez knew exactly what she was getting into when she begged Scott Coker for this opportunity. This is a competitor. History is the greatest trajectory to the future. And if you look at her record, she has been at bat 10 times. She's never struck out. 11-0, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane versus 10-0, Juliana Velasquez for the Flyweight World Championship.
As we come to a close on a very challenging and trying year, there are two things that have remained consistent: the hard work and sacrifice of the men and women in our armed forces, and Bellator's commitment to support them. It's an annual tradition. Bellator moves company to Honolulu, Hawaii, and is granted access to Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam to meet, train with, and sometimes get schooled by those in our nation's most honorable uniform. Of course, for everyone's health and safety, that was not possible this year in person. Thanks to the USO, from Africa to Iraq, Italy, and Alaska, we virtually popped in instead.
Hi, I'm currently stationed over here in Rhoda for a deployment.
I'm right now at Jaybird, Alaska.
Justin January, originally from small town Jay, Oklahoma.
And we have a couple special guests to welcome in right now. If you guys are fans of mixed martial arts, please welcome in Hoist Gracie and Big John McCarthy.
We understand how hard it is to be away from your family, from your loved ones during the holidays, but what you do is so important, and it is absolutely necessary.
Freedom depends on you guys, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
And of course, we had to make good on another annual Hawaii tradition. No one makes an entrance like flyweight champion Ilima-Lei Macfarlane.
There she is. You gotta unmute yourself so we can say hello to you. There we go.
Hello, everybody. Even though I'm in the thick of camp, I'm on one bite of chicken an hour, I'm totally in, because that's how appreciative I am of all of you. So mahalo everybody, and send you guys all love and positive vibes, and hopefully you guys get to go home soon.
You do not need to be in the service to show your support for this country. This holiday season, let's work together as a force behind the forces to strengthen our troops by keeping them connected to family, home, and country. Visit uso.org/Bellator to give back and help our military heroes. Goldie, it's a great cause to support this holiday season, huh?
And we have had the honor the last few years to share time with our members of the military. Humbling, rewarding, and thankful to every man and woman who keeps us free every single day. Have a great holiday as we get set for a great co-main event. Magomedov, a man you know very well, a man you talked to Frankie Edgar about.
Yeah, I reached out to Frankie Edgar because he's his training partner, one of his training partners, and he's very close with Zabit as well. And Zabit is one of the top 145-pounders out there. Frankie Edgar being one of the top 130, one of the top fighters ever, and the two of them train together. And so I asked him, I said, how good is he? He said, he's everything that people are talking about. He's good on the feet, can be a little bit careless, but it works to his benefit because he's so good on the ground as well as his wrestling. He ties everything together very well. Even when he gets out of position, he ends up scrambling to a dominant position that works well for his game. He is one of the biggest signings in Bellator history, and I cannot wait to watch this young man fight tonight.
It is going to be exciting. It is a matchup of two men that John has shared the cage with. They will share the cage together for the first time. But John, what makes Matos so good?
What makes Matos so good is, first off, technically he is sound. Second, he can wrestle, he can submit, he can strike. Third, he is strong. At 135 pounds, this guy is a beast when it comes to when he grabs a hold of someone. You see them have that look like, oh my God, I haven't never trained with someone that can do that with me. This guy's got it all. This is gonna be one heck of a fight.
The Swarm was sensational. The best is yet to come. Our co-main event that we just spoke of, and our main event for the belt. When asked about fighting here in the U.S., Magomed said, I'll tell you my feeling after the fight. A pit bull fighter, Mitos Matos, said, I'm ready to put on a show.
at 4:30 Eastern, we head over to the hardwood as Big East Conference play gets underway. When the St. John's Red Storm head across the river to battle the Seton Hall Pirates. Catch it all right here on CBS Sports Network. Set for our co-main event of the evening. Two men making their Bellator debut. Two men with a combined record of 28-2.
And now, set to make his way to the cage, Mateos Adamas Matos.
A product of the Pitbull brothers who finished his camp in Scottsdale, Arizona at Fight Ready. With Henry Cejudo and the gang, he has been Henry Cejudo's sparring partner for many fights. The thing that I found most interesting is that Adamas said he is extremely happy to be here in Bellator because he's seen what Patricio and Patricky have done. They've set a high bar for the Brazilians. He looks at it as extra motivation. He wants to set and break records himself, and it starts right now.
And now ready to make his way, Magomed Tiger Magomedov.
Here's a man who should get extra presents on December 25th, because that's his birthday. He will be 29 years old on Christmas. He is 16-1. The Dagestan fighter making his Bellator debut. These two men have fought on the same card. They've been in the same cities, but they have never battled against each other until now. Our tale of the tape for our co-main event of the evening. Mateos Matos with those 12 wins. His opponent Magomedov with the 16. Both men are 28 years old. John, I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Everything else virtually identical. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Here at Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator MMA now presents tonight's co-main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. And now live on CBS Sports Network, we introduce the blue corner. At 5'5", weighing in 135.2 pounds, making his Bellator debut, he brings 12 professional victories, along with 1 loss and 1 draw. From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting Mateos Adamas Matos. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 136 pounds. Tonight, he too makes his Bellator debut, bringing 16 professional victories with just 1 defeat. From Dagestan, Russia, introducing Magomed Tiger Magomedov. And the referee in charge of the action, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, our referee for our co-main event of the evening. Magomed Magomedov against Mateos Matos. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Red gloves for Magomedov. Blue gloves for Matos, who comes out southpaw.
Nice job of taking the back by Matos.
Right to the neck. And
that was sweet.
They're still dry, John.
Yep.
This is exactly what I was talking about when we were doing the preview to this fight. He puts himself in position sometimes, but he finds ways to get out, and he ends up in a dominant position here on the back now.
Magomedov, the former ACB bantamweight champion, said, I want to become a champion in every organization I compete for. So next up, the Bellator bantamweight belt. His quest begins against a very tough opponent.
You look at champions in other organizations, And that champion in that organization, his one loss is to Magomedov.
Well, they switched fights. Yeah. The first time, it was Mago that beat Peter Yan. Second time, Peter Yan got Mago, but both guys are just incredible fighters. And the thing about Magomedov is exactly what you're seeing. He stays glued. He's very much like Khabib in that when he gets a hold of you, he just is like Velcro. You can't get rid of him. He'll ride you, he'll let you get up, he'll bring you back down. He just continues to put pressure on you. That's a beautiful takedown.
That was Khabib-like.
No, that was Kevin Randall.
It was very close.
That was Fedor Emelianenko.
But that was all technique because that wasn't strength, Josh. You know, because he didn't do a big strain. It was he felt him get light and then went with it, took him down.
Magomedov, the only man to beat Peter Yan, defeated in the rematch. Matos, his lone defeat, coming to the same man. These are two of the best bantamweights in the world. There is no doubt about it.
The Bellator bantamweight has just exploded with talent in the last 2 years. It is incredible the amount of talent that has gotten into the bantamweights.
I just continue to try to nudge Coker. Let's do a World Grand Prix because we have such amazing bantamweights.
Juan Archuleta would be okay with another chance for a $1 million payday. He is our bantamweight champion.
That was a nice transition from Magomedov. What he did is he was on the back, started to lose a position, he went to the high crotch. Got a head on the outside, so you gotta be careful of the guillotine. But he'll start to try to look across his back, across Matos' back, and try and shrug that arm off.
Mateos Matos said of his opponent, he has that Russian tenacity, so he is preparing for a war. He's well-rounded, I'm well-rounded, I hit harder. Right now, it's been a chess match.
I think he's absolutely right. I do think he hits harder than Mago, but you've got to be in a position to hit. Yes. Right now, he hasn't been able to get to that based upon the superior grappling and the ability to hold that position that Magomed is doing.
You see this a lot from a lot of the Dagestani fighters. What they will do is they will continue to just ride the hips, tire you out, make you post a lot. When you do post, they'll try and get far side wrist control, which they call the Dagestani handcuff, and they'll just continue to work you and work you and work you until you finally get frustrated and give up a position, like you're seeing right now. It's just the hanging on the hips constantly. It's hanging on the upper body. It's making them post. That starts to wear your shoulders down. Like if you're sitting in that plank position or in a push-up position for a long time, your shoulders start to get tired.
Right now, Matos is in a position. He hasn't been hurt, even though the takedown might have hurt a little bit. The one, but he really hasn't been hurt. But you will start to get frustrated when this just continues on, and you can't stop it. That frustration will lead you into making a mistake that they will then take advantage of.
Okay. Nice, Steve.
Stop. Lean break. 5 minutes in the books. Magomed took Mateos for a ride. High amplitude. We'll be back.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
Saturday, December 19th, it's a Showtime Championship Boxing Night. Former world title holder Emmanuel Rodriguez will battle young Filipino knockout artist Raymar Caballo for the Bantamweight World Championship, plus Philadelphia's rising welterweight sensation, Jerome Ennis, in the co-main event. Round 2, Magomedov and Matos.
You already see Matos being cautious about coming in and trying to get into that quick position. This is not where he wants to be.
And he's starting to look for that one big shot. You can't look for the one big shot. You got to just use your skills and touch him and make him pay.
And what Magomedov's doing well, John, is he's mixing up everything. You already saw him do the handstand kick.
John, this is the opportunity for Matos to show everybody that he hits hard.
See, it's when you load up like you just did right there, you're telegraphing it. That's what allowed Magomedov to come down, slide underneath, and get to this position where now he's got him up against the cage looking for the takedown.
Magomedov came here to the States in June. Trained, as Josh talked about, a ton with Frankie Edgar and the crew, Mark Henry, one of the best. Also spent a little time at Extreme Couture in Vegas with Ray Sefo and the great coaches there.
Yeah, everywhere he's went, all people have talked about is how he's the real deal.
Yeah.
And then the fact that we were able to sign him, he came here. It was a buzz, an electricity going through Bellator. Like, hey, they've got a lot of good guys in this one. And we're seeing a top level fight right now going in front of us.
You saw him with that takedown, Josh. He ended up getting his hand across, pulls it tight on the waist, brings his head to the offside, brings him down. Just beautiful technique.
This is what Matos needs to do here. He needs to do 2 hands on 1 on the wrist control, start trying to work his way up. But see how he posts his hands? That means that you don't have wrist control.
And Matos trains with the Pitbull brothers in Brazil. Little pandemic worry there, so he came over to the States for the last 3 weeks, and as I mentioned, was at Fight Ready in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'd say both men trained with some pretty good camps.
Take your time, Maga. Matos spent the last portion of his camp with Henry Cejudo.
Yep.
Training with Henry, using the wrestling there, and a lot of other guys that were there as well. But it's a different style of wrestling, John. Like, it's not the same style of just Olympic style wrestling, that sambo style, foot sweeps, dragging you back down. It's not the style of you would see in the Olympics. It's really good, but it's tailor-made for MMA.
And that was a slick back kick by Magomedov, and then a beautiful job by Matos to bring the arm to the offside of his head to keep himself safe. But right now, he's carrying a lot of weight and needs to be very careful controlling the arms.
Keep that chin tucked, and he's got to start getting wrist control so he doesn't get choked. That arm doesn't want to slide underneath the chin.
Did a good job again bringing that arm to the offside. That takes all the danger away, and now you can work your way through the body triangle, but unable to hold on to that arm.
Under 90 seconds, round 2. Locking down on the midsection. He would love to lock in a submission.
He's starting to slide down on the waist a little bit, so he could be potentially losing his legs and getting a little bit tired of holding that figure 4 position around the waist.
So what adjustment should he make, Josh?
I mean, realistically, what Matos needs to do is, this is not a good position to be in. Like, standing up with someone on your back, you're carrying their weight. This is another thing, is it's hard to defend while you're carrying that person. He needs to fall to the ground and pick a side to defend. Probably the same side that the legs are locked on. It makes it easier to escape.
You're a lot better off if you put Magomed's back towards the cage and then drop down with him there. Make it to where he doesn't have the ability to move, to hold on to your position. It's going to make his ability to be effective offensively. It's going to limit it a lot.
Another thing as well, what John was saying, if he would have dropped down right there, he can start pushing on the knees and driving up his hips up over Magomedov's.
20 seconds.
This right now has been incredibly frustrating for Matos just because he's not getting beat up, but he's just getting beat.
He's getting manhandled.
Hey, after the bell. Hey, no. Hey, after, okay? Over. Olha, bota bem aqui. Olha, é o seguinte, temos que nocautear, tá bom? Olha, o seu joelho, olha, presta atenção. Ele não tá mal na luta, ele só tá querendo te agarrar, ok? Agora é o seguinte, quando você tem a oportunidade de bater, tem que bater, Marcos. Ele deu logo no princípio, ele deu a chance pra você botar o seu jab direto. Bota o jab direto, termina com gancho, pô. Confia, cara. Confia, pô. Hey, let's reactivate the suit for me right now. Let's go. Third round. Ele só quer botar você pra baixo, cara. Usa o que você tem de bom, cara.
Talked about Magomedov being a Christmas baby. Well, Bellator merchandise makes a great holiday gift. Take advantage of this exclusive and limited time offer now by going to BellatorShop.com. Use promo code HOLIDAY20, get 20% off your entire order. Big John, how does Mateos Matos turn things around here with 5 left?
You know, it's going to be very difficult because he's facing a guy that technically is just diverse in what he does, and then when he decides to come into you, he does it really well. So he's got to, instead of trying to land the big shot, my thing was that I want you to stay in the middle of the cage, and I want you just to touch him. When he comes into range, touch him. Touch, and then the power will come.
Can he prevent being taken down again?
Good job of getting on the head, trying to get the kick out.
He is just relentless. And this is what we talked about. Remember when we were talking about it before? It's that pace and that pressure that he brings. Once he comes inside the range to get his hands on you, it's a relentless pressure and pace.
That's that old chain thing you talk about, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's all about chain wrestling. So he shot in on the high crotch. He was able to poke his head to the outside and lift. When he got it up, Matos tried to kick out. And he was able to capture the knee, so he couldn't get all the way away, and he followed up right away. Kind of pulled him into him as he jumped into his back.
Khabib is the king, but trust me, there is a boatload of great and dangerous Dagestani fighters, talented like this man right here, Magomedov, who has looked spectacular thus far.
I need you to break that grip. That was a nice job right there by Matos to stand up. He was fighting the hands. He just needs to work on getting the wrist control before he gets up.
John, that's the strongest Velcro I've ever seen in my life.
I'm telling you, it's
that's super glue or that Gorilla Glue or whatever that commercial.
You know, and when you're used to doing certain things to get yourself out of positions, and it works against everybody, and then all of a sudden you're in the fight and it's not working. It's a horrible feeling because it's like, this always works for me. Right? What's wrong? And you just got to go to plan B. Just keep moving, keep working. But it's tough when you got a guy like Magomedov on top of you. He is relentless.
Well, then those of you guys at home watching this going, oh, you know what? But if this was a 5-round fight, let me just explain to you. His one win, his big win over Peter Yan, who's the UFC champion, was 5 rounds.
Oh, yeah.
And he can do this for 5 rounds. He can probably do it for 10 and 15 also if you want to let him do it.
I don't think Mateos does.
This is where Mateos is here. What he needs to do is he needs to get his right leg back underneath him so he can start trying to get up.
Yeah, he's got his left leg trapped. There he gets it free. Now he has the ability to possibly get his leg underneath him and get himself back to a standing position.
Shouldn't let go of that wrist control, though. He let go of post. He should have just rolled to the shoulder and popped back up.
16-1 against 12-1-1.
I don't know what he's saying, but Magomedov is talking to Matos. I don't know if they understand each other, but
doesn't matter.
Russian, Portuguese, same.
There was this other guy I knew one time that was fighting. He was in the lightweights, and he used to talk to everyone, telling them that they needed to quit. His name was Nurmagomedov.
Well, you know what? He was right.
You just have to be so impressed with the ability to control another human being the way that Magomedov has done in this fight. 3 rounds straight in a row. Matos knows what he's going to do, and Matos is a good fighter, and he cannot stop anything that Magomed is doing.
And John, I think that's a point we really need to talk about, is how good Matos is and how dominant Magomedov has been.
It is, and that's what's so impressive. People that are watching Matos for the first time, they go, oh, he got beat. They don't think he's that good. This guy is that good.
Yes. Dominant performance.
Stay there,
by the Tiger with 30 seconds remaining in this co-main event. You hear on CBS Sports Network.
You hear Mark Henry yelling, stay there, Margo, stay there. He's in a dominant position. Go ahead and attack the rear naked. Never give up that position to chase a submission unless it's the rear naked.
And man, does he lock that body up.
That's a submission.
It is. He can crank on that neck. Matos is trying to spin himself through that figure 4. It's a lot of pressure.
They go the distance.
This was that beautiful takedown. Look at this. Matos started this fight at 5'5". He's now 5'3" after that one. That was brutal. Here he comes. Big shots. Watch, he sees it. The knee comes up, touches the chin a little bit. Not a devastating shot, but again, just everything that he went to. Goes to the single leg, runs the pipe, little trip behind, right into position on the back, and just rides him like he's a horse. Magomedov said, I'm going to use all my tricks. Wait and see. I plan on using them. I think he just did. Our official decision is coming up next. College football comes your way tomorrow. It is a big Mountain West showdown. Nevada taking on undefeated San Jose State. And it comes your way right here on CBS Sports Network. Back inside the Mohegan Sun Arena, our home away from home, Michael C. Williams with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your three judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Brian Miner, scores the fight 30-26, while judges Dave Peabody and Dave Torelli both see it the same, 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Magomed Tiger Magomedov.
30-26, 30-27, 30-27, 17-1. Magomedov, the victor, will visit with Big John.
Magomed, first thing I want to say is welcome to Bellator. That was an outstanding performance against a very good fighter in Matos. How are you feeling?
Добро пожаловать в Bellator. Ты дрался с очень тяжелым соперником Матео Матосом. Как ты себя чувствуешь? Какое это ощущение?
Спасибо, Джон, спасибо. Было большое такое волнение. Я 2 года не дрался, и новой такой большой организации появиться. Очень переживал. Можно сказать, 2 сутки не спал я. И даже после весогонки не смог нормально поспать. Хочу поблагодарить всех, Bellator организацию, матчмейкеров, Майка, всех, кто меня подписал сюда, Скотт Кокер. Всем большое спасибо, что дали возможность проявить себя этой организации. Я очень счастлив.
Yeah, I was very nervous to fight in like big promotion like this. I even don't sleep. Couple of days after weight, I worry about this. I was very nervous, but I'm happy and I'm very thankful to Scott, to all guys who signed me here, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, you've established yourself as one of the best bantamweights in the world, no doubt about it. So who is it that you would like to face next in this cage?
Ты один из лучших легковесов мира, в этом нет сомнений. С кем бы ты хотел подраться?
Спасибо за такое признание, очень радует, но я себя не считаю еще лучшим. Кого следующий предложит Bellator, я готов подраться. И как мне первого соперника предложили, я без раздумий согласился, хотя для первого боя соперник был очень сильный. Я не хочу вызывать кого-то или назвать имена. Просто хочу сказать Bellator, что здесь в этих джунглях появился новый король.
Thank you very much for this. I don't want to say names. I just want to say to everybody in Bellator jungle, new king.
Well, I'll tell you what, after that performance, you're absolutely right. There's a new person in the jungle ready to be king. Congratulations on a fantastic fight. Back to you, Mikey.
Thank you very much, Big John. The Tiger is the king, Josh, in the jungle. Take a look at the final numbers. And it's interesting, Josh, because he said, and I quote, after the fight, I will tell you how I'm feeling. With those numbers, he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, but the story of the fight was the takedowns. The takedowns led to the control. The takedowns led to the strikes being landed and dominating the fight. That's why one judge had it 30-26. Dominant performance for your first fight out. I'm excited to see what's next.
That would be 7 for 7 on the takedowns. The challenger on the champion. I've prepared for every kind of scenario. If she gives me an opening to submit her, I'll do that. If she gives me an open to knock her out, I'll knock her out. If I got to beat her up the whole time, I'm ready for that as well. Here is Chael on the champ.
Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. She's tough, she's beautiful, she's undefeated. And why? Because she's super dangerous.
She is the face of Bellator MMA.
A fighter is somebody who deals with adversity and pushes through anyway, no matter what. That is what Ilima-Lei is. She doesn't offer any excuses. She doesn't miss weight. She doesn't turn fights down. Every time there is a new signing at Bellator, she gets excited. There's new meat for her to go after. There's new people trying to bring her down. There's a reason she's the champion. This is very unique to have 2 undefeated fighters contesting for a world championship, right? We don't see a lot of that in MMA. We just don't see a lot of fighters who at some point in their career didn't stub their toe. 11-0, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane versus 10-0, Juliana Velasquez for the Flyweight World Championship.
the title, became the very first champion, defeating Emily Ducote. Bellator 201. Alejandra Lara went down, her first title defense. Then it was time to travel home to Hawaii to take on the veteran Valerie Letourneau. Title defense number 2. Vita Arteaga in San Jose. Vicious elbow. And it was over. And then 1 year ago in Hawaii, the Brit Kate Jackson, defeated by Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. That makes it 4 title defenses. Tonight, she will look for a Bellator record 5th title defense against her toughest opponent yet. Here's the situation for Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. She has fought at home. It has been magical. Josh, you have fought at home many times in San Jose. There are negatives, but there are positives. And during those tough times during a fight, sometimes that hometown crowd is what pushes you through.
The lead up to the fight is the worst, especially the week of, John. Fans, friends, everybody and their mother is calling you for tickets or wanting to be around you at that time. That's the part she does not miss. The part that she's gonna miss, I feel she's gonna miss, is the fans. It's electric. You see her win right here over Letourneau. The transition she's made. The crowd was electric that night. That's really, I felt like, what drove her to this position. She held on to it tight. She made the transitions beautifully, and she was able to capitalize, get a win over Letourneau. Same thing with Vita Arteaga. This, though, was in San Jose. Up until she cut Vita with that elbow, it was a tough fight for her, guys. She was struggling. She wasn't having a good performance. She feeds off the crowd. It's hard for fighters sometimes to feed off the crowd if it's not their hometown. I'm telling you right now, the crowd will be a factor for her. I want her to win. I think it's the best thing for her. But guess what? She's got her hands full in Juliana Velasquez.
And you just angered an entire country.
Yes, I did. I did.
The Brazilians are mad at Josh, and I quote, speaking of the Brazilians, Big John, one could make the argument that Juliana Velasquez could have battled for the belt 1 year ago, 2 years ago, but she told us she's happy it is happening now because she's better, more prepared mentally and physically than ever.
She is a physical monster. You take a look at Juliana Velasquez. She is strong. She's going to be the strongest fighter that Ilima-Lei has ever faced. She is athletic. She's not the fastest, but when she hits with power, which you don't see in 125-pound women. And look at that armbar against La Niang right there. That is nasty. She comes from a judo background. She was part of the Brazilian national team, black belt in judo. She is awesome on the ground, but she doesn't like to fight on the ground. She likes to do this, and you look at what she's doing there. That's her hitting body shots, heavy shots to the head, and making a professional fighter look like they are a schoolyard kid getting beat up.
It is going to be a fun fight. It is a fabulous matchup. It is our main event. The belt is on the line. The champion looking to defend, and she will visit with her own Jen Brown.
All right, I'm here with our champ, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. All right, Ilima-Lei, let's talk about the obvious because we're not in Hawaii, right? I hear some Hawaiian music being played back here, which feels good. But, you know, we talked about that because you're so used to that walkout and the electricity of the fans. But you said that you welcome this change. Why?
You know, as much as I love being home, I love my family, I love my friends and my fans. It can just be kind of overwhelming sometimes. So I do kind of like this change of pace where, you know, we're just getting in the cage, doing our thing, and getting out.
Business as usual. Well, tonight, your opponent, Juliana Velasquez, you called her a killer. What concerns you most about her?
Dude, her eyes and her... Like, when you see action shots of her, they're so intense that, you know, she just looks like a killer in the utmost respect. So, yeah, she's just a very physically dominating fighter. And, yeah, I think that's one of her best attributes.
A lot of people talk about her striking, but she also talked about her judo when we talked to her and said, look, I'm good on the ground. She says that she's not concerned going to the ground with you. Should she be?
Yeah, I think she's bluffing a little bit. I want to say that she's going to try everything in her power to not go to the ground with me. So, yeah, I'm calling her bluff.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you back in that cage tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Hawaii's favorite daughter looks to set a Bellator record. Standing in her way, one bad Brazilian named Juliana Velasquez. Our main event comes your way when we come back right here on CBS Sports Network. Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. Fight of 2020, our fifth since our return in late July. To the victor goes the Bellator Flyweight World Championship belt.
I'm a badass bitch.
Let the luau begin! Ilima-Lei Macfarlane would not be denied. She is the face of Bellator MMA.
It damn right is my division.
Still undefeated, Juliana Velasquez.
She loves to stand up and knock her opponents out. It is all over! That type of performance have earned her a shot at the title against Ilima-Lei Macfarlane.
And now, set to make her way to the cage, the challenger, Juliana Velasquez.
Ten and 0. 5 of those wins inside the Bellator cage. Team Nogueira, a ultra-talented judoka. The challenger, Juliana Velasquez, born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Big John, your keys to victory for the challenger.
For the challenger, Juliana Velasquez, the first thing you need to do is dictate the pace and make Ilima-Lei uncomfortable in the stand-up with that pace. Dominate with the standing pressure, but if the fight hits the ground, don't go towards submissions. Think of ground and pound and hurt her with your strikes.
She is the challenger. She wants to complete the Brazilian sweep that Chris Cyborg started back in January.
And now, the reigning Bellator flyweight world champion, Ilima-Lei, the Eliminator, Macfarlane.
No one has ever defended a Bellator belt 5 times. With a win, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane will become the first. By the way, she is the first ever and only Bellator flyweight world champion. 11-0 overall, 10 of those wins inside the Bellator cage. To retain her belt, Josh, what are her keys to victory?
Her keys to victory is that she needs to use her striking to set up and close the distance for her takedowns. She needs to make sure she smothers Juliana. She needs to pressure, but not put too much pressure on herself to get the takedown. If she does that, I think she'll have a lot of success. Like I said, the striking is going to be key. If she forces the takedown, it's going to work against her. If she sets it up with the punching and get in, she'll have success tonight.
Nobody is going to touch my jiu-jitsu. She also said the longer this fight goes, the more advantageous she believes it will be for her. The champion, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. The challenger, Juliana Velasquez. Our tale of the tape for this championship fight. 21-0 combined record. The Brazilian, 4 years the elder, 2 inches taller, will have a slight reach advantage. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on CBS Sports Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Flyweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Mr. Tom Cantone, Chief of the Mohegan Tribe Lynn Malerba, and supervising at cage side Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'6", weighing in 124.4 pounds. In her first world title fight, she enters undefeated. 10 wins, no losses. From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, introducing the challenger, Juliana Velasquez. And across the cage, her adversary fights out of the red corner. The champion tonight at 5'4", weighing in 124.8 pounds. In her 5th defense of the title, she stands undefeated as well, bringing 11 professional victories without a defeat. By way of San Diego, California, she fights out of Honolulu, Hawaii, presenting the defending Bellator Flyweight World Champion, Ilima-Lei, the Eliminator, Macfarlane. And the referee in charge of the action, Dan Merliaho.
All right, ladies, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all time. I want you to protect yourselves at all time. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Best of luck to both of you.
This is on the line. Someone will enjoy Christmas more than the other because they will be the owner of Bellator Gold. Will it be the challenger taking over or the champion retaining? Here we go. Tonight's Fight Clock presented by Geico, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane in the red gloves, the southpaw Juliana Velasquez in the blue gloves. And John, southpaw, a big point and something Ilima-Lei has talked about a lot.
Well, she's gonna have to win that foot position. That's a big part of fighting a southpaw, because when Juliana's able to get her right leg to the outside of Ilima-Lei Macfarlane's left leg, you're gonna see that left hand coming straight down the pipe, popping her head back.
I don't even think it's so much the foot position as much as it is all the takedowns are going to be done differently for Ilima-Lei now. She's normally used to fighting people who aren't southpaw, and if they are southpaw, they switch back and forth, is what she talked about. So she knows when to set up her takedowns. This is going to be a tough task for her, because it's a whole different style of the way you have to fight someone. You fight southpaws.
And Ilima-Lei did make the point, Josh, to all of us that Juliana does not switch from the southpaw stance.
No, she is a true southpaw. She stays that way. She fights that way. Everything she does is from that direction.
Not the first southpaw that Ilima-Lei has faced, but definitely the most dangerous.
John, what I'm noticing right now, though, is the size difference. And that's the one thing that Ilima-Lei said. I saw her passing in the hallway, and Juliana is enormous. She's extremely tall and just physically built like a specimen. They say she's just looks extremely athletic. It's just like a really good. Trying to get the words out here, John.
She's an athlete. There's no doubt about it. She is built like an athlete. She performs beautifully. She just right there threw that left hand, and one of the things that you're seeing straight off, if you've watched a lot of Ilima-Lei's fights, normally she does this exact thing you're seeing right here. She holds position, holds ground, and moves laterally. She's moving backwards a lot, and you know that moving backwards does take more energy to keep you in the fight.
What I don't like that I'm seeing out of Ilima-Lei right now is that she's moving her head and dipping her head left to right, but the problem is, though, she's dipping quite low, and Juliana likes to throw those kicks as well.
Isso aí. Hands up.
Na dúvida, mete duas rápidas no meio. Isso aí, isso aí, tá vendo? Ela saiu.
The early feeling out process. Midway through round one.
Mantenha a finta.
Championship fight scheduled for 5-minute rounds.
Peito, para a dúvida vai no peito. Empurra ela.
The corner of the champion.
Isso aí. Ela quer jogar o combo para derrubar. Não pode ter medo. Entendeu? Quero você olhando essa mão para a gente pegar o golpe limpo nela. Aí, tá vendo? Tá vendo? Falei, não tem nada aí. Ela vai fazer só essa finta, não corre. Isso aí. Quando você quiser, você joga com tudo no queixo dela.
What you're seeing right now with Juliana is figuring out the distance and the location and figuring out exactly the timing that she needs to launch her attacks with what Ilima-Lei is doing. This is not that, you know, they're both feeling each other out. You don't have to win every second of a fight. You've got a lot of time in a 5-round fight. There's good things about a 5-round fight that you have that time. There's bad things that you have to fight 5 rounds possibly. But, you know, you don't have to rush the fight.
This is how I thought Juliana would approach the first round, though. Knowing that Ilima-Lei was going to punch and try to get into the clinch, into the takedown position. She's fighting a very smart first round, getting the feel and the speed of what Ilima-Lei can do as far as takedowns and combinations.
See exactly how she enters on those shots. And once you get a feeling for the way she likes to come in to try to get that takedown, it can give you a lot of information.
I remember another Brazilian who would calculate early and conquer shortly thereafter.
Hands up.
Named Anderson Silva.
Tem nada, não tira, isso aí.
Has a beautiful front kick to the solar plex area. It's just like a hard jab.
Não aceita isso aí, ó. 30 segundos, Ju.
Josh, like you've said many, many times, you don't get paid by the minute. You get paid by the win.
Yeah, you don't want, no one wants to be in there for 25 hard minutes. I mean, it's great to talk about it afterwards. Oh yeah, it was great, I fought 25 hard minutes, but while you're going through it, you would like to get it done.
That said, in a 25-minute fight, much to John's point, no rush. 5 minutes in the books. The champion, the challenger, the fight continues. That first 5 minutes, John, a feeling out process, really for both women, which makes it kind of difficult for the judges to pick one, doesn't it?
Well, it does to a point, but you could really tell the person that was controlling the fight. Not that Alima didn't have a little time with inside leg kicks that she was landing, but overall, you got to say that Juliana landed the better shots. She landed a couple of good straight left hands. You'd rather be Juliana than you would Alima, even though there wasn't a lot there.
She controlled where the fight was taking place as well, and she continues to try to do so.
You see Juliana using her reach and her range very well, and at the end of that first round, she was able to hit her with that little push kick to the body. That's something I thought she was going to utilize a little bit more, but she probably will in a 5-round fight. That's kind of, that to me has always been better than a jab because it keeps you longer, also makes it harder for them to close the distance and get in on the takedown.
Yeah, I have a feeling somewhere in the training sessions that they decided that kicking was going to be something that they really limited, and so that push kick, which is really a great tool and weapon that she has been the person that's limited based upon knowing that Alima is going to want to try to take her to the ground.
Third career 5-round fight for the challenger. 6th career 5-round fight for the champion. She went the distance in her last title defense. A dominant performance against Kate Jackson.
See, right there, when you see Alima making these mad rushes, what Juliana needs to do instead of backing off is laterally move, slider, foot out, spin off, and counter.
You just did it right there, John. She must have heard you.
Isso. Não deixa ela. Isso aí. Isso aí.
Hijack that underhook. You start reversing it, you hijack it a little bit more.
Tira essa mão daí, isso.
This is a position that a lot of people would have thought Alima would have the advantage in, but I feel like she doesn't, given the background of Juliana Velasquez being in judo. Also, she's very experienced on the ground as well. She's not concerned about going to the ground. I think, obviously, for most, you probably want to wait so you get a little bit sweatier to drop to the ground. You know, and I know the first round was a filling out process, so they're probably not as sweaty as they normally would be if there was a brawl.
It's not preferable, but it's not something that she doesn't feel that she can't handle. In this position, Velasquez wants to outmuscle Alima, which is something that Macfarlane talks about, how strong and how physically fit and imposing her opponent here tonight.
Here's the one takeaway, though. I'm like, look, we signed Liz Carmouche as well, and Liz Carmouche is physically strong. But guess what? They're not training partners anymore because Liz is signed with Bellator. So that's another thing to start taking away, is that during this COVID time, she didn't have some of her training partners that she had before, and Liz Carmouche would have been a good addition for her preparation for this fight.
Tira ela, tira ela.
Be active with the underhook. With every beautiful, Lima. Start hooking the leg. Let's start tripping her down.
So you're hearing Richie Martinez talk about hooking the leg and tripping it down. It's not going to be an easy thing, especially with the fence and with that judo background. The judokas, when it comes to trips, they are used to all of those trips. It's a very difficult thing to catch one in a position where it'll work.
Brazilian national champion. Fell just short of an opportunity to represent her country in the Olympics. So the Bellator belt would be like the Olympic medal she was unable to attain. The final minute of round 2. They're on the canvas for the first time.
See, but you look at that, and Limale was the one that tried to set up that takedown. And Juliana comes out with the position on it, but this is not bad for Limale, in my opinion. This is a good place for her to work from.
She's already working her legs up high.
She's very tricky, very crafty.
She swivels really well off of her back for the armbar transition. Notice how she's locking her down, trying to keep her in close so she can bring the leg up and over. The flexibility with that intense plan of jiu-jitsu is key on a lot of their attacks.
You already have your hand on the mat as well. You have the options right now.
Richie Martinez, a black belt, under Eddie Brock.
10 segundos, isso, bate nela. Ela quer o teu braço, ela quer teu braço aí, isso. Bate nela, bate nela. Bate no corpo dela.
Yeah, and she's looking for nothing except for you to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's trying to suck you into that.
She's like a really slow fighter.
Yeah.
It's like a really slow fight. But it looks like the first round, it looks like they had it for her, and this round, it's most likely to be her because we ended up at the end. So let's work hard, okay? This is time to pick it up or not, okay? This is when we start going for the championship round. This is your round. This is your fight, your time, okay?
Mais pouquinho? Tá? Ela sente a tua mão, então ela se apavora. Quando você cortar aqui, ó, você corta e mete o upper por dentro dela. Tudo curto vai pegar. Pum, pum, e sai fora, pô. Mão dura nela.
Set for the start of round number 3. Main event, flyweight world championship fight. Champion in the red gloves, challenger in the blue gloves. Both women unbeaten in their professional careers.
Aí, isso aí que não pode, pô. É no pé de trás, pô. No pé de trás, queixo pra dentro.
Big John, you gave round 1 to the challenger. How about round 2?
Round 2 goes to the challenger again. And it's not that, you know, Limale is not doing some things well. She's just not doing enough right now. When she got to fight the ground, she was looking to try to move towards the submission, but nothing ever came of it. Couldn't do anything from that position. So right now, I've got Juliana up 2 rounds to none. It's just simple things like you just saw. Yep, just hit her with a straight left hand. That landed flush. Nothing has really landed cleanly for Limale at this time.
Not only is she longer, she turns that shoulder over beautifully.
We're outside, head movement, hands up.
I really feel like Limale is having a problem because of the southpaw stance. The combinations aren't there. She's having to dip her head to the opposite direction. The takedown is not there as well. She probably hasn't been able to practice shots in this position here. Now that she's in on the leg, see how she's trapped the knee there? She's lifting. She's got to work on getting that trip. And get back up and keep the ankle.
She's a little long on that, a little far outside of it.
She's caught.
She took some shots when she had lifted the leg. Her head was tucked, but she was taking some clean shots in that position there.
Champion is cut.
Let's go, nothing, let's go.
3:15 on the clock, round 3.
I'm thinking that the cut might have happened when that takedown occurred and they clashed heads.
I was thinking the same thing, John. Yeah, we see that so often because look at the forehead of Juliana. I don't know if that's a cut as well, or just
she had her head up underneath Alima Lane when she had her against the cage. So I believe that's where the blood came from. I don't think Juliana has a cut, but it's clear that Alima Lane did.
Yep.
Sometimes a cut will help wake you up, though. Sometimes a cut will help get you going. Hey, like, hey, now we're in this. Sometimes you gotta see a little bit of blood to feel like you're in a fight. What I like that Juliana's doing, though, is she's setting pressure, but she's not overcommitting on anything, so it's making it hard for Alima Lane to get in.
Nice little right hand connecting as Macfarlane tried to close in.
You got 2 minutes.
Or that would be the right hand for the southpaw.
Mais uma ameaça e pega. 2 minutos, 2 minutos. Isso aí, vai cercando ela. Ela vai correr pra bater. Isso aí, só tá saindo, ó. O queixo tá alto no final. Não quero queixo alto no final.
There, go back.
Não quero queixo alto no
Alima
final.
Lane comes in and tries to throw a flurry that could lead to a potential takedown. Juliana's been able to retreat each time.
Right there.
Continua trabalhando a mão, pintando, fazendo ela errar. Deixa ela errar. Isso aí, perfeito. Perfeito.
Make sure we watch out for that hand up.
Ó, essa tá telegrafando muito essa mão aí. Você pode fazer o jab entra e sai. Não é só
2 5-round fights for Velasquez. One was a doctor stoppage in the final minute of the 5th. A victory, of course, for the unbeaten Brazilian. The other she finished quickly, 3 minutes and 55 seconds. We're under a minute away from the championship rounds here in our main event.
Mike, our production people went back and looked, and there was no clash of heads. It could have been when Alima was looking for that single leg. You saw Juliana open up with that hand, just hitting a couple of shots, and that seems to be what opened her up.
That's the problem with lifting the single leg and holding it there for a second. You got to keep your opponent moving, otherwise they're able to strike off of that and land clean shots.
20 segundos.
What I'm seeing is that I need to see more from Alima Lane is she needs to commit to her striking more. She's lunging in with one, trying to get close enough to get it on the legs, but Juliana's footwork is just too good.
Ameaça e joga.
Oh, well done. Nice little jump knee right there at the end of the round.
Let's take a look at it.
So I believe she's actually cut before this right here.
It might be the fence, John.
It's possible. You know, it's hard to tell because you can't see anything. Then you'll see her right here as Juliana's grinding. You can see the drip coming down. So it might have been that it opened up against the cage.
That connect.
Your time still, okay? 10 minutes is a long time, baby. Let's go.
Get her to the cage and put her down. Pega no meio, pô.
It's a nasty slice.
Yeah, that's a clean, almost razor-like cut.
Round four.
She must be very careful taking her hands and putting it in. It's her cut, it's her face. She can do what she wants.
Yep. So, John, after 3 rounds, as we enter the championship rounds, the champion is in a position where she's got to finish her challenger, isn't she?
Well, I'm in the position where I'm thinking that Juliana Velasquez is ahead of this. 3 rounds to nothing right now. So, yeah, she's either got to have dominant rounds in the next 2 rounds or she has got to get a finish. Right now, I haven't seen anything that's been putting her in a position where she's going to be able to do that.
But what we just saw right there, she needs to do more of that. She needs to close the distance, sliding her feet in, and then throw more than one and two punches.
You sure? Yeah. Okay, wash your fingers.
Striking stats calculated by both women
controlled by the challenger.
As you can see how the challenger, as each round goes by, more and more shots are getting in, they're landing.
On the outside, just a little bit more active, double up.
Limley is going to have to open up a little bit more and take some more risks, Josh, because what she's been doing for the 3 rounds is not working for her in getting her where she needs to be.
Well, the issue that I'm seeing is the game plan that she had coming in was that in the 4th and 5th round, I'm going to drag her to deep waters and drown her. But you have to set a pace in the earlier rounds to get her to the deep water to drown her. And the pace wasn't enough, I think, to drown Juliana Velasquez. I saw her between rounds. She wasn't breathing heavy at all.
She's the one controlling the pace.
Keep that front leg. You got that too.
Juliana Velasquez said my striking will be my biggest advantage. I'm confident once we meet, and she said this a couple of years ago, once we meet, meaning Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, the champion, I will leave with the belt.
Well, what you're seeing right now, she's doing a better job of actually cutting off the angle instead of following. She's been following in the first couple of rounds. She was following too much. Like right there, she's starting to follow. She needs to take that step outside and cut that angle off on Ilima-Lei.
Now the nose is bloodied up of the champion.
They were working on her nose between rounds, and that last knee, it landed right at the break.
Yep. Midway point, round number 4.
So Ilima-Lei needs, in this position, you need to use your feet. You've got to slide in and land shots. You're not going to make those lunges. When you make the big lunges, you're giving a tell. You've got to take your feet and just move yourself in these positions right there where you see Juliana taking a step towards you. Make your turn to step in and start landing shots.
If it was only as easy as you just said, that's the hardest part. Juliana Velasquez is brilliant in keeping her distance. Nice job right there, though, by closing the distance with the strikes. Get into the body lock and that outside trip.
This is a very important time with a minute 50 left in the round. Ilima-Lei's got the position that she wants, at least by getting the fight somewhat to the ground. She needs to take away that post to that arm so she can drive Juliana down to the mat.
Well, the way she can do it, John, is by trying to slide her feet more towards the fence, so that'll put pressure on Juliana's shoulder, make her try to readjust her hand.
And then grip things down to the mat if you need to right now.
She can also drive her upper body up over her a little bit more, put more pressure on her palm as well, and that'll start to make her break her elbow base.
Keep on climbing. All the way to mount. You want it in the mount. Let's go.
Ela quer matar o teu braço para você bater as costas no chão.
Body locking, take it down to the mat. Put her on the mat.
Put her on the mat. We gotta do this now, Ilima.
This is when length and range plays a big difference. You see Ilima-Lei trying to reach and get to that wrist. She can't reach because Juliana Velasquez is so tall. She's lengthy, got long arms, long legs. She's trying to control her position, but she's so lengthy that she can't reach and grab the wrist at the same time of trying to control her legs.
She just lost the position of having the leg up. She doesn't have the figure 4 on it, but it's still in a position where it's basically off of the mat. I like the fact that she's going after all the little shots, trying to make Juliana move.
She needs to scoot her leg to the right, though, put her foot and ankle to that side.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but it's, again, a lot easier to say than do, especially when you're in this position.
20 seconds. 20 seconds, Ilima. Let's work.
Ilima-Lei can also drive her upper body up and over Juliana Velasquez as well. That'll help push her back flat to the mat.
Let's go. Keep on fighting. Right here. Let's start going ham. Go ham. Let's go.
Go. 10 seconds. Give me some power.
Sem nada.
Good round for the champion.
Wasn't enough, John. Was it enough for her to steal the round?
Oh, she definitely got the round. Ilima-Lei Macfarlane wins that round, but it's not going to be what we would say is a 10-8 round, which is what she needs to get in this last round to keep her title.
Most of that blood coming from the nose. But I mean, she's still breathing. It didn't sound good the way I
Very
said
nice that right away, didn't hesitate, gets the hands locked, and right away is swinging that leg around for that outside trip. That's why she ended up getting it, because of the momentum that she had created.
It wasn't just the momentum, what it was you talked about earlier. Juliana Velasquez moved straight back, and that's what made the takedown easier. Had she cut the angle, that takedown wouldn't have happened.
True.
Or it would have been a lot harder to get.
Fifth and final round. 5 minutes remain. The unbeaten champion, the undefeated challenger.
Final round, let's go, ladies, fight.
Who will win our final title fight of 2020?
Fica atenta, tá? Não pode tomar queda.
Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, red gloves, blue gloves, Juliana Velasquez.
Sem deixar queixo alto.
Right there's what you need to see from Ilima-Lei. She needs to make those steps forward. That's it. Beautiful job. That gets her in deep. Now let's get the takedown. And if you're Juliana Velasquez, you want to fight this off, make her pay for getting inside, and go back to what you were doing of just picking her apart from the outside.
Beautiful, Ilima. Body lock and smash her down. You get a nice body lock right there.
Ilima-Lei needs to go, like you hear her corner yelling, go to the body lock, bounce her off the fence, bring her off of the fence, because she had more success getting the takedown out in the open than she did against the fence the whole fight.
Create a little bit distance between her and the fence. There you go.
Go for that trip again. Good job done by Velasquez. It's so, when you're watching the fight and you have something like that happen, it's that fence that creates that balance point, and then you normally go down, but you just bounce right off of it, you're still on your feet.
The fence is the challenger's friend right now.
Don't let her just stand there and steal this. Come on.
But that's exactly what you're seeing out of Ilima-Lei's corner is your time is running, so you can't just stay there. You got to make something happen now.
Something dynamic.
Well, and she's got the underhook, but you see the wizard that Juliana's holding. But you've got to, you say, I've got to create something. If it's take it to the backside, all kinds of things. You just go. Make it happen. If you end up losing it, you don't get it, at least you tried.
And the physical strength of Velasquez, certainly a factor in these championship rounds. As Ilima-Lei would normally be able to dominate and perhaps finish, as she's done in the past, in these situations.
You're right there, that's what I was talking about. If you take it backside, she just lost it when her hip hit. Juliana was able to keep that top position. But again, from this, one of the things you're doing, being out of 10th planet, there's all kinds of attacks. We'll start going to those, go to mission control, start swinging to an omoplata. I don't care, but I've got to create the attack.
She has 2.5 minutes to keep her title.
Yes.
She needs to do whatever it takes. Give up positions, attack positions. She needs to just throw it all out there right now.
Empurra ela na grade, esmaga ela na grade, mas ela vai usar a grade.
Trying to get towards that rubber guard.
Não deixa ela passar essa perna aí, Ju. Ô, Ju, você levanta, Ju.
Vamos ficar em pé, Ju, vamos ficar em pé.
Vai,
ficar em pé, Ju. We gotta start this on a submission. We gotta be on top there, then you get it. 2 minutes left, Ilima.
2 minutos.
Quick distance between the fence.
And it's Velasquez forcing the champion towards the fence.
We gotta work, we got 140 left, let's go. Same thing
Juliana using a lot of pressure, using her head as that third arm, putting a lot of pressure on the chin area of Ilima-Lei to control her head.
What that does when you put your chin or your forehead under their chin, it keeps their back flat. Makes it hard for them to transition and scoot their hips out.
The Brazilian Douglas Lima holds the belt at 170. Patricio Pitbull has it at 55 and 45. Cyborg, the featherweight women's world champion, Velasquez, trying to take over the flyweight division.
55 left, Lima.
Yeah, I would tell you, in my opinion, Ilima-Lei has got basically 45 seconds now to make something special happen, or Juliana is going to take that belt away from her.
I need you to be active right now, okay? Be active, go active. I need more activity right now. Knees, knees.
30 segundos, show.
30 seconds remaining.
30 left. 30 left. Be active.
It's so easy to sit on the outside. These ladies have been fighting now for almost 25 minutes. Yeah, it's easy to sit there and say, oh, you need to do something. You need to get the takedown. When you fought this long, it's not an easy thing.
John, I feel like the story of this was Alina Lay's going to go back and realize that she just started too late. She didn't get going until the third round, the end of the third round.
This will be the first time Velasquez has gone the full 25 minutes. They go the distance. Velasquez and Macfarlane. Juliana's brother Rafael up amongst the angels, looking down upon his sister with a big smile right now. "52 strikes landed by both fighters. Punches +4 Velasquez, takedowns +3 Macfarlane. Numbers are very close. Scorecard may not be. Will it be a Bellator record or a big night for another Brazilian?
You just mentioned that maybe the scorecard wasn't going to be close. But John and I were just talking, and we were saying that we believe that the fourth and the fifth round probably went to Alina Lay's. Yeah. The scorecard will be close. It should be close, but it won't reflect really what happened in the cage tonight.
Thank you. You said it better than I did.
That's a first.
I think they both know, Josh, by the expression on their faces. You've been in this situation, both on the upside and, unfortunately,
yeah,
on the downside.
I've won my world title and I've lost my world title, and it sometimes will make you train harder, and it did. It did for myself, and I think for Alina Lay, just given the circumstances of this year itself.
Yeah.
It's just so hard. You know, she lives in San Diego. California has been shut down. Everyone's dealing with different types of circumstances during this time. And I don't want to make an excuse for her. I just feel like that's not the best Alina Lay that we've seen. Now, maybe it had something to do with not fighting in Hawaii, but I'm not going to take anything away from Juliana. She fought smart, and she fought how we know she can fight. This was also a big moment for her to go the full 5 rounds and get through it and be like, hey, she dominated rounds. She dominated the first 3 rounds. And so for her to get there and potentially walk away with the title tonight is what we're all thinking. Now the next time, I think when they meet, we'll see what happens maybe in a different situation. But I'm excited to see this happen again.
The official decision is in. Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in this world title fight, will go to your judges' scorecards. Your first judge, Sal D'Amato, scores it 48-47. Michael Bell sees it 49-46, and Judge Brian Miner scores it 48-47. All 3 judges have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator flyweight world champion, Juliana Velasquez.
Juliana Velasquez, the new champion. She points right to the tattoo of her lost brother on her left arm. What a moment. Both women, mutual respect. And the win for Velasquez.
Just be awesome. And I love seeing that Hawaiian spirit, that culture, that spread, and she's doing it to everybody. And I think, win or lose, this is who she is, and I love seeing that. Juliana Velasquez deserved to win the title tonight. She went out there and dominated the fight. Great job by our new champion.
This is her Olympic medal. She is the Bellator World Champion, Juliana Velasquez with Big John.
First thing I want to say is congratulations on becoming only the second Bellator flyweight champion. That was a beautiful performance against a great champion. How are you feeling right now?
Parabéns por sendo a segunda campeã dessa categoria no Bellator e foi uma ótima luta. Fala como você está sentindo.
Primeiramente, eu quero só agradecer a toda a minha equipe, meus professores, a minha família, ao meu irmão, que eu sei que ele está aqui comigo. Essa sensação de ser campeã é incrível e eu espero poder responder com o título, né? E não só ter o cinturão aqui na cintura, mas nos meus atos, no meu dia a dia. É isso que é um verdadeiro campeão e é isso que eu espero ser.
She says she's very excited to finally be the champion, and she wants to thank her team, her family, and especially her brother, who she felt was here with her tonight. And her goal now is not only to be a champion with the way she performs, but also to be a champion outside of the ring and to carry that with honor.
Does the winning of that title, that belt, validate her as a champion as far as all of her athletic endeavors, being on the national team in Brazil with judo and now all through MMA? Does she finally feel validated as one of the best fighters in the world?
Isso dá validade, todos os treinamentos, todo esse tempo de competindo, e agora você é campeão do mundo, você já competiu em todos os outros eventos, mas como você se sente agora?
É como se eu tivesse vencido a Olimpíada. Para mim é uma medalha olímpica, né, vindo do judô, e não consegui, e acho que isso representa a medalha olímpica. Só no meio dessa pandemia, sabe o que aconteceu? Eu não relatei a ninguém, mas eu já estava quase parando. Um grande amigo meu, o Thiago Pereira, um beijo. Ele me falou umas palavras e me motivou. E eu acho que é graças ao que ele me falou, eu estou aqui hoje, não desisti. E obrigada.
Yeah, she feels that to her this is like a gold medal. You know, she wasn't able to achieve a gold medal in judo, but to her this is like like a gold medal that she didn't win in judo. And during this pandemic, she was kind of started getting a little depressed, unsure when she was going to fight. She was even doubting herself, and one of her good friends reassured her and gave her some positive words, and she appreciates his words, and here she is now.
Well, congratulations on winning that belt. You are the new flyweight champion. Wear it well. Beautiful performance.
Congratulations to Juliana Velasquez. John will visit with the former champion.
Ilima-Lei, you have been unbelievable as the first ever flyweight champion in Bellator. I know this is hard, but you fought, especially in the championship rounds, the 4th and 5th rounds, you were coming on. Do you feel like maybe if you just had a little bit more time, or if you had started earlier, it might have been a different story?
I mean, you could say it's like, oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, but at the end of the day, she just outperformed me. Yeah, I think it was more like I didn't find my groove till that takedown. I wasn't trying to force anything. Her game plan was spot on, though. So yeah, at the end of the day, again, she's the champion. She deserves it.
Well, you have been an incredible champion. I want to thank you for the way that you've represented the sport, represented Bellator as the flyweight champion, and I know you're going to be back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. She's going to be an amazing champion. She deserves it all. Mahalo, everybody.
Congratulations to Juliana, the new flyweight champion. Back to you, goalie.
Big John, mahalo to Ilima-Lei Macfarlane for being such a great ambassador for Bellator and the sport. And obrigado on a great performance. Thank you and congratulations to the new champion, Juliana Velasquez, owner of the Bellator flyweight belt. Don't forget, fans, you can catch up on past fights 24/7 on our Pluto TV channel. Available now on your favorite devices. Look for us in the sports category and check out youtube.com/Bellator MMA for replays, watch-alongs, exclusive content, and much more. Like and subscribe today. The Bellator MMA library is at your fingertips. Bellator 254 has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Linton Vassell was dominant. Juliana Velasquez brings home the gold for one last time in 2020. For Michael C. Williams, Jen Brown, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, and our entire crew, this is Mike Goldberg saying so long until next year when we see you right back here inside the Bellator cage.